We're local. This is the first episode of Local to Local.
Yeah, I'm Dwight here. I'm the talking head, and he's
Yeah, I'm John.
John F. Kennedy. Yeah, he's John.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm from Hazard, Kentucky. He's from Mobile, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of interesting topics for today's or the first episode.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So do you want to talk about the teacher first, or do we want to talk about the other things we were talking about, and we can diverge onto the teacher?
Yeah, we can. I don't know. We should. I think we should talk about the Kentucky student, right? University of Kentucky student.
Mhm.
She was charged last week. I think it was, or was it this week? I don't even know what date it is. It was last week. Um, she was charged with concealment of a body and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know if you can pull that up. Have you seen it?
I need to. Let me see.
It's up in University of Kentucky.
Let me switch your limits. Let's all have. I just opened up Spotify on accident. Let's see. Okay, let's see. The Google tab. Oh, and it's not even registered. Okay, hold on. Window capture. MS Edge. There we go. Okay. So it was the girl.
Yeah, University of Kentucky student.
University of Kentucky student.
Yeah, charged with concealment of an infant. Of a body, is what it is. But
with concealment of a body. Okay.
yes.
Let's see. Here's the Independent talking about it. The Independent seems nice enough. University of Kentucky cheer team member accused of killing her infant, like in Snelling, 21. There's a picture of her on the screen right there. You can't see it. I have it on mine, but you can probably pull up the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
Send me the link.
yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll copy this for you.
Because I was reading about it, and the first thing that really struck me about it was that I don't think they're really sure, because they say that killed, but I really like to stress that the media can say whatever they want. It doesn't really have to be true. Because they didn't charge her with killing her infant, and that's probably because they sent it into the coroner's office, which they did. I think it was on Friday they sent it in, and then now they're just waiting for this.
However,
And
it's not every day though. You come home and you hide a baby in your closet.
right, well, I mean, there's been a lot of women. I was reading about this earlier, the Marshall Project and stuff. There's a lot of women who are being prosecuted for having stillbirths, and a lot more than half of them
I have seen that.
come from Alabama. And I think the reasoning is Alabama has a state law where even if your baby has a stillborn or a healthy born baby,
Yeah.
if you fail a drug test, they take it from you. They charge you. I don't know if they take it from you, but they charge you. And so I'm sure they take it from you. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the Marshall Project only included, and I can check right now for you here. I'll send you the link to it as well.
Oh, so just go ahead and Google it as well. Marshall Project. I know that a lot. It probably has something to do with abortion generally. I think, right?
Well, this has to do particularly the one that I'm about to send you. If I can even pull it up. Hold up.
Has to do with.
Right.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to read a little bit of the article. It says UK spokesperson Jay Blanton told UK, that's interesting, WKYT, that Snelling is a senior currently enrolled in class, that's University of Kentucky. Gosh. A near total abortion ban has been effective for the state of Kentucky since 2022. The university issued the following statement that we can confirm that she's a student of the stunt team for the last 3 seasons. All other questions should be directed to Lexington Police. She's currently being held at the Fayette. Is it Fayette? Fayette. Fayette County Detention Center. And the Department of Special Victims Protection continues to investigate it.
Right.
She's been charged with abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant, which I didn't know was a crime to conceal a birth of an infant.
Well, so in some states, I don't know. In some states, they require you to file a birth certificate if you have a stillborn, but you don't have to file like a death certificate. I think some states require you to do both. I don't know. Each state is different, but I think it's more about what at least what some people have been saying to me is because if it was actually a stillborn, why did she wrap it in a blanket and put it in the closet? And I think the answer is that she's probably worried about being prosecuted as if she murdered this child. And it's like a lot of us. some people do not know that they're pregnant. I don't know the circumstances surrounding this case, but I think that media and people should not be very quick to judge, especially when we don't know what the coroner's office is going to say, right? Because human of a body is a crime, but it's not murder, right? And I do think that, especially if someone is under duress or they're under stress, or and she has a lot of things. She's on the cheer team. I mean, there's probably a lot of social obligations, right? And we don't know if there is multiple.
Sealing the birth of an infant is a Class A misdemeanor. Since 1975, it has not changed.
So what does that like entail, really?
Well, I mean, if anything, I mean, tampering with evidence, and the most I think would be abuse of a corpse. But if she is convicted with these things, I mean, and at most, there's not really a lot coming to her, regardless of what happens with they find, unless they could find that she killed it or something like.
I mean, well, does it not say what the sentencing guidelines are?
I mean, I don't see the sentencing guidelines. I just popped up it's a statute from Kentucky government. It doesn't really say anything, but it's just a Class A misdemeanor.
Yeah, they really suck, don't they?
Yeah, I get a lot of that with Alabama too. They don't really clarify a lot of things, but a Class A misdemeanor, I've had, it's 1 year in jail or fines, so she could just be fined.
I feel like I've always tried to go through the Kentucky website. I feel like any government website, and I'm always like trying to find something very particular, and it's like in the most obscure corner of the world. And you can't
or
even
the
search
site
about it
won't work.
online.
The site most of the time, government sites don't work because I mean, really, the states don't care. Same for the official government. I tried to do several things a few years back, and most government sites they don't work at all.
Well, yeah, and I think that I mean I think that's a I don't know it's part of a completely larger issue that deals with our infrastructure, national security. I mean, so many of these like things are so intertangled, you know.
Oh, yeah, usually.
And it's like I don't know. I mean, you think about the reason how they got really rich on building. What is it when they built the cable for the stock trade, right? So they could get it just milliseconds faster. But I mean, that made the difference, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of like the same thing because if our government websites aren't updated, are we really expecting our government to be updating our infrastructure, our security, the things that maybe guarding the border, right? Border checkpoints, for AI identification, looking for people who are known terrorist suspects, right? I mean, I don't know. I think the government spends so much money. Like I don't trust it to actually put the money where it needs to go. That they're just like putting it into I don't know, buying stones and putting them in a gravel driveway.
With the military alone, they're paying. I saw one where was in the Congress. He holds a bag of screws. He's like, yeah, we're paying like $27,000 for this one bag of screws. It's I mean it's like whenever they're working on a road locally. I mean they'll close down an entire segment of road for years and never open it. Like I mean, the other day I was at the bank, and we're sitting there and we're in the parking lot. This road's been closed down for like months now. It's I don't remember the exact road, but it's in Mobile. And it's I mean, I figure it's by region to the Walgreens, and it's been closed down. And I'm looking over there, and the only thing that's being done on the entire road, there's machines and all this. The only thing being done on the entire road is a group of I believe 13 people, 13 workers, and they're sitting around one curb, and only three of them are working, and they're just smoothing out the concrete. And that's it. I mean, it's money going to nothing. It's just going to most likely it's being a lot of money is being pulled out and put in other people's pockets.
Well, yeah. I mean, I honestly feel like this is such a universal experience because even in Kentucky, when I lived in North Carolina, when I lived in Tennessee, it's like it's like you seriously see so much road construction. I feel like half the time it'll be sunshine and it'll be like a nice Wednesday at 11 o'clock, dude, and nobody's there. I mean, they look like the construction's been set in the same place for the last 3 days.
Thing before on the road between Florida and Alabama, there's just this huge project that's been worked on for literally years. I mean, whenever I moved here from Florida in 2018, the road was still being worked on. I went down to Florida, Panama City, just recently. And it's still being worked on. It's moved down a little bit, but it's still being worked on.
Well, if anyone is from the Charlotte area, they would know the progress is so slow. Like when my dad first moved to Charlotte when I was like 10, and we would always go there, and I always remember the drive because I mean it was pretty simple. I mean there was kind of a lot of traffic, it was whatever, and there was Popular Tent Road. That was the exit right before Concord Mills, right? The big mall. And so my dad would always be like, I wonder if I went this way, would it be quicker? Would it be quicker? Because going to Concord, going through the exit where Concord Mills at, there's a lot of people, and they didn't really have infrastructure. Now they have like a big thing to get up over there. But I mean, if anyone remembers Charlotte 10 years ago, it's kind of crazy. The way that it's changed. Because when I went there last year, me and my girlfriend, dude, it was insane. I was like, wow, this place is really different. I remember going on the way to my dad's house, right? There used to just be a brick, like a big stone wall, and then you would turn, and it was just like country roads, all like not really country roads as much as like fields, right? Country fields. It was kind of back roadish, but it was being developed. It's all developed now, and that road just goes straight into development. I mean, it's all like
I mean, that's how it was with Lynn Haven.
cities and stuff. But I mean, I feel like something changed. I feel like they got their shit together and they like invested,
Yeah.
because Charlotte actually didn't have any Labor Day weekend shootings reported that I saw, unlike Atlanta and Chicago. Yeah,
Let's see how.
New York City.
Well, let's see what Mobelini shootings going on there. But another thing with like the places being rapidly like fixed or anything like that, Lynn Haven, big one. Uh, there was governmental mismanagement because Hurricane Michael in 2018 it destroyed a lot of Panama City. Of course, it destroyed the Gulf and everything like that. Messed up Panama City big time too. That's the reason we left the state. But we went back there now. Lynn Haven is totally fixed. Like I mean, there's 3 or 4 of the same mechanic on one road. They're not even that far apart, it was weird to see that. But I mean, it's massively industrialized. But early on, a lot of the money put in weird places. The people that actually need the money. I mean, hell, the road that I used to live on damaged for years. I mean, you still go over there and it looks pretty junky still. And the beach, Panama City Beach, it was fixed like overnight. It felt like, I mean,
I went to Panama City Beach when I was in college, and it was really nice. I stayed at
beautiful place.
I forgot what that thing was called. It was I went with a Presbyterian group.
I think you told me about the Presbyterians before, yeah.
Yes, the RUF, Reformed University Fellowship. They're a very great group, I think.
Yeah.
At least the one that I was in at Austin P. They're pretty great.
Are you a Presbyterian?
Yeah.
Presbyterians are normally pretty good. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met a bad Presbyterian I could think of. I met some weird Pentecostals and some weird
That's
Episcopals.
every
Or
that's everyone in Hazard, man. I feel like a lot of them are Pentecostals, and honestly, like most of them, I don't have anything wrong with. I just think the people that I mean, honestly, like if you believe in God, I mean, and however you believe in God is up to you and whatever you do with it. But you could, but as long as you don't push it on nobody and you ain't real dramatic about it, I don't care what.
I don't care. I think because I mean, like certain groups like Pentecostals, the Living Tongue, or there's a word term for it.
And not all of them are
Like not all of them are like that, but I mean, at my at the former church I went to, Authentic Life, there was definitely instances where people would they would start talking words that they weren't words, and
well, I mean,
agree.
that just feels like a daddy's church house type of church.
Yeah.
You know what a daddy's daddy's church. Gosh, what is it? It's like they went from the Assembly of God to God, I forgot what it was. There was some church that I saw, and they went from the Assembly of God to oh God, I can't remember what it was, but it was some name that was just like so worldwide pastor. Like I like Joel Osteen type shit.
Oh, okay.
Nothing against Joel Osteen other than the fact that they found
like
all the money that they lost.
Or like whenever Joel Osteen closed up his church to let all those people stay out there during the floods and everything like that.
Well,
real
Joel
nice guy.
Osteen got an insurance check for like $630,000 because he was missing all this money and all these checks. It was found behind his toilet, behind one of his toilets in his mega church. Yeah, and it was found in a bag. Yeah, it's magic, right?
All the money that these people get, always every time I hear about a company getting money from something, it always reminds me of a certain event over in New York that happened in the 2000s that can't be named.
Well,
it's a bit on the nose.
The thing about that, Dick Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
You start with him. They even made a movie about this guy. That's how bad he was.
Dick Cheney, a horrible person. I mean, hey. All I'm saying is, how do you accidentally shoot your own friend with a hunting shotgun in the face? And not every day that happens.
And I mean, he was the former CEO of Halliburton, right? The military, one of the military companies. It was a Canadian company, and he when he was vice president in 2003, the Bush administration secured a contract with Halliburton for $1.3 billion in the Middle East. And it was for the Iraq war. And it just makes me wonder, did guy get a little bit money kicked back? I'm just saying they made a movie about the guy. All right. That's how evil Dick Cheney is. And I think when you look at him and then you're like, huh, I wonder how all these other people are connected. I think something that you might want to show them about is the AIPAC tracker.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
No,
resource
yeah,
for
APAC Tracker, the Open Secrets. That's a really good website. I mean, hell, I've looked at all my politicians, every single politician in Alabama and Kentucky except for one. Mazie was your politician guy. He's kind of funny, little short looking guy. Kentucky politicians.
a short, funny looking guy. I don't know. Is he from Miami?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's from your area, but he's a representative. He's the only person that hasn't taken APAC money, actually. Oh, dude. Which is it Cameron or Representative Macy or Massey?
Massey. Okay.
And that
I
is
think I know
so
that
that
guy.
ASSIE. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's an odd name, but he's the only person that doesn't take APAC.
Yeah.
Also, for same
Okay.
thing, Alabama, every single politician, including the Democrat politician, because you have to remember APAC is it doesn't care about your political affiliation. It just sends money to either.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And not to
Well,
mention the other endorsements. I mean, we looked at Hal Rogers, who's received money from Boeing, Mitch McConnell, and things like that, who received money. I believe Mitch McConnell is Lockheed Martin. Almost every single politician in Kentucky receives money from or every single politician besides the one. And most of our politicians between the two states receive money from the military-industrial complex with Boeing, Lockheed Martin,
what about North
um,
Carolina?
Northrop. Not I said Northrop. Let me look. Let's see. North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
No, I know they have a lot of politicians. Let's just look at their APAC tracker.
Mhm.
I imagine there's probably one or two, if I had to guess. No, North Carolina is a pretty big state. Let's see, but
Oh, a lot of
it is.
people are moving there. North Carolina is it's coming close to be the seventh most populated state in the union. I mean, when I looked it up a couple of years ago, it was like the ninth or the 10th. I mean, it is exploding, and I think that's because they have one of I think it's timber that's really big in North Carolina. I mean, they have a lot of you know
Send this back to
economics.
the.
They have a lot of development. And
Yes.
as much as people hated Roy Cooper, I think Roy Cooper was all right. I think Roy Cooper I think I think Roy Cooper did very well for a Democrat in a very little bit more conservative leaning state, because it's very similar to how Kentucky is, right? There's always a lot of Republicans that are being elected on the federal and on the state level, but when it comes to our gubernatorial elections, we always elect Democrats.
Well,
And even I've noticed in local elections, it seems to be leaning a lot more times Democrat, because here in Southeast Kentucky, the Democrats have controlled local politics for a very long time.
okay.
And I just think it's really interesting that's especially here in Kentucky, because North Carolina is at least a swing state. Kentucky is it's just strange that they are voting that way.
I went to North Carolina. You said North Carolina. Where North Carolina? I was
Mhm.
looking at their APAC tracker right now. Every single person, senators and representatives alike, and Republican and Democrat alike, are all funded by APAC. The least I believe is $11,000, and the most I think is sitting at 3.7 million from APAC, which is Don Davis. He's got
Odd Davis.
yeah, he's received
Who's
a
this guy?
lot. I'm not sure. There's also this website also shows other ones too. Let's see. There's NORPAC. What is this? Northwest. What is this? Recycled bag papers and craft specialty grades. What's so bad about these guys?
Okay.
Oh, they're another.
Maybe
Oh,
that one.
oh, never mind. Wrong. They're a pro-Israel. They're
Oh,
another one.
okay.
Okay, that's different guys. I guess I was like, what's wrong with the paper bag guys? They seem pretty nice. It's,
Yeah, no,
they're working
that's
with
a good sign.
the and then there's the DMFI, which is Democratic majority for the country of the Middle East. But yeah, so all of these people are funded by them extremely.
Right. Well, I think, maybe we should go into kind of explaining what exactly what we're talking about, because I don't know if everyone was listening knows about what a political action committee is.
Yeah, so AIPAC is what is the actual term? It's American, or no, let's look it up. AIPAC,
Isn't it AIPAC, American Israel?
American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Yeah.
Yes, that AIPAC is.
Yeah, so yeah, AIPAC is basically they fund Israel, and every politician except for a handful has a AIPAC guy. Massey from Representative Massey from Kentucky actually said this in an interview. He's like, yeah, when I talk to people, they have to call in their AIPAC guy. And AIPAC, essentially, they give you a lot of money, and in exchange, you focus instead of on your state, you focus on giving them money or giving them aid, giving them different things, information. Israel wants information a lot of the time. And it's a big thing to remember because, like, I mean, these politicians that you're voting in, they're like, hey, I'm fighting for you. But at the end of the day, they've received $1 million from AIPAC, and what they're going to do is, the second they get in Congress, they're going to give a lot of our money to them.
And I think that something that people might be wondering right now is, why the hell does that even matter, right? Like, what does Israel affect me? And I think a lot of people right now are knowing, of course, Israel and Gaza war and stuff that's going on with the Palestinians, but
You may be, but who cares about the Palestinians? They're not.
Right. I don't know. Some people do.
I mean, some people do. I do, but I mean, the average person.
I care about innocent civilians. Like, I don't think. I think
if you're a good Christian, you should. I think if you're a good, you're a good Christian. Generally, I think that's. I mean, you should have compassion. Most people should have compassion. I mean, regardless of Christian. Yeah, empathy. And I think that's another thing that I've seen a lot recently is the quote sin of empathy, which I think is very, very, which is something we should talk about later on. That's very weird.
And well, because we go back to, even who my picture here is, Dwight Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower, president from 1953 to 1961. And his vice president, right, is another president who a lot of you may know, Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon had quite a few opinions about what he called the American Jew. And he said publicly that the American Jew believes what is best for Israel is also best for America, and that's just not true. It's something along those lines. Don't quote me directly on that, but
Okay,
I have a clip of this. I'm sure you can pull this up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. We should clarify. By no means are we in any sense anti-Semitic.
No.
Because that can be misconstrued a lot. Yeah, we have to put because by a lot of people, especially on Twitter and Facebook, or just in general, politicians use views that people. I mean, hell, if you see the war in Gaza Netanyahu said it himself. He says the free Gaza is the equivalent, or free Palestine rather, is the equivalent. The modern day version is saying Heil Hitler. It's a very thin line that you walk when you're talking about the AIPAC and Israel, because it can be often misconstrued as a anti-Semitic remark. I've got no issue with Jews. I think that they're very smart people, but their country over the Middle East is a war.
Well, and I think that's exactly what the line is, right? There's a line between the government that controls the actions of which the government does, and then the people who live in that country. And sometimes people who live in that country can commit crimes to citizens, or they can do other stuff. But generally, the populace isn't going to do that. When they're cowering in a corner and you murder them, I mean, that's just evil, right? I mean, that's the simple as it is. No matter who you are, where you come from, if you murder some random person cowering in a corner, unless you're like Osama bin Laden, you're pretty much an evil person. I mean, there's no 2 seconds things about it.
Well, I mean, and Orthodox Jews in New York are burning the Israeli flag, and that doesn't say something. I don't know what does.
Well, and that's also what a lot of people are trying to say, right? Is that it's not about Jews, it's about the government of Israel. And I think particularly that Israel is using the United States, and Richard Nixon holds a very similar opinion. There are leaked audios of White House. And I mean, you can look this up if you want to show them all this. He's had quite a few comments about Jews, privately and publicly. Yeah, pull it up, Jamie. Pull that bit close.
Actually, I don't know if I want to. He's a vulgar speaker when he talks. It depends on the video. If you can pull this.
Public here, I might be able to
I find this because there is a video I know that he does. He has some choice words. for them.
That says
Same for LBJ. You want to, like, if you want to ever reference LBJ, you have to pick and choose because he was very fond of the hard R.
And look, and people don't know this. Here, let me see if I can look this up online and pull it up.
All right. I think after we talk about this, we should talk about the teacher lesson that we were going to talk about initially, and we did Spiral a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a small amount, but I mean, hell, who doesn't Spiral?
I mean, I think it's good for content. I mean, I think that there's always there's always different things to talk about, different things to add.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people might not know what the hell AIPAC is, and now they're like, okay,
It gives them an idea.
It affects your life, truly, in very many ways.
I mean, like I think about it like this, right? I mean, whenever you have a politician running and they're in your little town, say say like someone I'm not gonna let's say what's a politician you could think of that runs in your state that might come to your town, something like that to put to what you call it, a senator.
Andy Barr.
So like, yeah, I guess that's what I was going to say, but I wanted to stray away from that. But Andy Barr, take Andy Barr for example. I mean, he'll come to your state and he'll be asked a question about Israel, and he'll diverge into this Israel's our greatest ally. We can't do them wrong. We have to benefit them. And if you've ever seen that in a politician, you ever seen Trump be backed into a corner by Israel, and they'll say that they're our greatest ally. You'll see Biden be backed into a corner. They're our greatest ally. Andy Barr, any politician, our greatest ally. We have to keep on funding them, blah, 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 blah. And once you kind of understand why they're saying this, it's not because they're not Israel's biggest fan. It's because they've given them $1 million and now they legally have to. Otherwise,
So actually, just for all the people that think we're crazy now, this video short that I'm about to show you, the one that I was talking about, where he is publicly talking about American Jews and Israeli interests, this is from the Richard Nixon Foundation.
Yes. I'll bring this up on my page. Go ahead.
And Nixon is very well known for being him. He's very famously always said that I am me. I am Nixon. He said you go that if this is a new Nixon, then you perhaps just didn't know the old Nixon.
All right, I'm going to play the video.
Yes.
All right. It should pick up audio, I believe. I think so. Yeah, at the very least. Let me see. It's picking up edge audio here. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's not picking up the audio. I don't know. Here, let me see if I can fix this real quick. Properties.
We'll just edit this part out.
Oh no, I should actually pop up. I think I can get it right.
Okay. This is good. Everyone's like, gosh, these
unprofessional.
Real. Well, it's okay. They're all here to support us. That's all that matters.
Oh, it's got subtitles anyway. It should pop up in that. That does not, in effect, give the Israelis a blank check. I think that's an important thing that he talks about, because we often do give them blank checks. We give them, we've given them billions of dollars. I think we give them $2 billion a year since Obama.
So since 9/11, America has spent. I'll actually send you a link to the graph that shows you. Oh, here it is. This is the Watson School of International and Public Affairs. This is showing you the post 9/11 spending in billions from 2021 to 2022 in wars in the Middle East.
All right.
Link. Oh my goodness, it's going crazy on me again. Give me a second.
David, pull that up, please. Hello. I think that should come through. What was it? There it is. Let's see. U.S. federal
Yeah,
budget
every
cost.
time. Yes, every time I try to pull out some fire information,
Yeah, tries to stunt you. It's because they're listening.
yeah, they are.
FYI, they're not listening. Go to Google.com. Here it is right here. What am I looking at here? Overseas contingency operations. It's a lot of money. Actually,
Yeah,
we'll
so
this.
the overseas, it's $2 trillion, $2.1 trillion, just in operations overseas, and this is for us. And I understand, right? Domestic terrorism and international terrorism is a pretty big threat, but also, right? Are we not going to question all the how did they get there? How who funded them? Who gave them the money? I don't know. Maybe the CIA.
Yeah, maybe the CIA. I mean, we have to remember, most terrorists overseas, generally, most of them are mad at America because America was there and ruined their lives. They took their father away. They blew up their mother. I mean, our soldiers have been over there since what, the early '90s, and I mean, let's be real here. There wasn't exactly jihadis and things like that roaming the streets of the 1980s. It wasn't exactly,
Well,
or even the '70s rather. It wasn't as big. But whenever in today, if people would say death to America because we blew up their dad, yeah, death to America. I would say the same thing. I mean, hell, if China blew up my dad, I would be like, hey, maybe death to China. I mean, you got to
right.
look at through your own lens. If say Chinese military came into Hazard, Kentucky, and started killing people, they broke into your house, and if you tried to defend your family for the Chinese military, they would mow you down and kill your son for doing the same thing. I mean, that's what we would do. U.S. troops would walk in the house, just kick open the door, and then when they would try to defend
And I
themselves,
think
we would kill them.
I think it's important, right, to bring back kind of full circle to what we were talking about earlier about Dick Cheney, right? 2003 Iraq War. Um, this is the, right. Well, this is exactly this is full interest, right? When we're talking about military industrial complex and war profiteering, Dick Cheney, right? He got money for the Iraq War, but the Iraq War was based off of what? It was based off that there was a belief that there was a nuclear weapons or some type of weapons of mass destructions, and there wasn't. There wasn't. Actually, the truth is there wasn't, and they said there wasn't, and then they fired the guy and sent someone else. So, take that for how
I
you
mean, hell,
will.
there's a Fruity and Slip. I mean, whenever what's his name, George W. Bush, he's talking, and he's like, it's let me pull up the actual transcript. But he's talking about, let's see, George W. Bush, war in Ukraine, Iraq, or something like that. He can choose his Iraq with which one. Basically, he says a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq, and then he says Ukraine. I meant Ukraine. Anyways, Iraq too. Anyway, and then he starts off and he's talking. Who's the guy that led said invasion? The guy that says Iraq too, which was as in his own words, unjustified and brutal. I mean, even the guy that conducted the war said it's unjustified and brutal, while not maybe fully meaning to. He did say that, uh, which is remarkable. I mean, it does make you wonder a little bit because I mean, hell, maybe they did, but you know who did have nuclear weapons or some kind of nuclear device over there in the early 2000s? Israel, who would not let third party or even let the United States actually
Yeah, they
look
still don't.
into their. They don't let anybody look into what they do. They don't let them look into the
Well, yeah,
nuclear silos or anything.
this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Israel is almost like it has a protected status in the world. It's oddly strange. Israel has the most number of American sex offender fugitives because they have a extradition treaty with the United States, but they refuse to extradite.
Yes, they allow if you're a pedophile and you're Jewish ethnicity, you can
Who's that guy?
extradite. Uh, well, which guy? Is
The,
big
the,
with
the, the
J?
guy that the guy that was meeting with the yeah, he was meeting with the 13-year-old, and then they dropped all the charges, and
Oh,
then
I'm
he
not
went
sure.
back. He was some high-ranking government official, I believe, in the Israeli government,
Well,
and he was in the United States, and he was intertwined in some sex trafficking
Well, I
operation.
mean, there's another interesting thing. Recently, emails leaked between Jeffrey Epstein and a former prime minister of Israel, talking about surveillance devices, among other things. And at this point now, I think it's hard. I mean, if you're especially if you're in a position of power, at what point is it willingly ignoring what he does, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and actually participating in it. If you're a prime minister of Israel, I think it'd be pretty hard to, especially when you're having personal emails with the guy. At a certain point, you have to think, well, maybe it was more than just emails. Among other things, I mean, all these connections and everything like that. I mean, if I got, say, I was in, Germany in the 1940s, I'm contacting Hitler via I'm contacting Hitler via by mail, and he's writing back to me. It's a little bit weird. I mean, it's not every day that the head of a country gets back with you. I mean, if I email Trump right now, you know what's going to happen? Nothing, because they don't talk to us. So whenever you're a little close with somebody, a little too close, especially the person of power and a person like Epstein, it's a bit. It makes you wonder things.
Well, that damn, I don't forgot what I was gonna say. Well, you were talking about the whole Jeffrey. Okay, so I remember now. So there was a CIA. The thing I was telling you about earlier, the whole CIA operation, right? It was like a pre-Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein?
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, guys. That was actually what his name was. I don't know if you saw it in the documents, but
Yeah, he's the one that had the black book, not Epstein.
yeah. So it was a CIA operation in 1983, and pretty much I told you about earlier, it was two men and there was like six children, and they were just sitting on a bench in Florida, and they were just kind of staring off, and some lady called the police and said, I don't know, these school children look kind of odd, and there's two men out here in suits, and the police showed up and they said they were teachers. They had no identification. The children had no identification. They couldn't prove who they were. It brought them in. The FBI and the CIA and came in, and they said, hey, we're gonna take over the investigation. They took all of it. Turns out these guys were CIA assets, right? They worked for an organization. I think it's called the Pathfinder, something like that. But they were at a communal house in Washington D.C. and they had a ranch in like Pepper something, Virginia. I forgot. I'll have to watch the video again so I can get all the things. But I think in a later episode, I think we can go a lot more into depth into this because it all kind of interconnects.
Maybe we should hold that for another episode.
Right. But it was interesting. It's like a Jeffrey Epstein case for the
Epstein. Yeah.
Right. And everyone got off.
On to a more local thing. I think we should talk about the teacher now.
Yeah.
A little more local, not talking about overseas and things that the average person cares about, but not that much. Let's see. These are a little bit older. They're definitely older news. I'm pulling up the article. Which one is it? Let me see. Principal staff members. It's from the Fox 86. I'll bring that one up. The current is this the current mayor, correct?
Yes.
Current mayor. Let's see. What is his name? Has her Donald Happy Mobelini.
Are you able to screen share?
I can't actually screen share to you real quick. Actually, let me. Or can I just pull my whole screen up? Screen one.
Don't expose your DMs.
No, I can't. It doesn't. It picks up purely just the regular stuff. I'm gonna put this. It's gonna be at 720 at 30 FPS because I'm not trying to bring down the regular quality of everything else. But we're on. I'm on the Fox 56 article, and it's interesting. Here's the picture of him in the corner. Kind of. I mean, he looks like an old guy. Yeah, I maybe know someone that looks similar to him.
You're just like, oh, he looks like an old guy. Well, thanks.
Well, he looks like somebody. He looks like somebody I recognize a little bit, to be honest.
I also thought that when I first saw the guy. I thought,
he looks familiar. He kind of looks like a blended person of like a bunch of people that you might know.
AI generated.
Yeah. It's like they took a bunch of pictures of people and everything. Right here, the Lexington Herald reports the principal Donald Happy Mobelini, who is also Hazard's mayor, along with staff members Larry Thacker and Joshua Hurt. One hell of a name series right there. Thacker, Hurt, and Mobelini received reprimands for unprofessional conduct. And to clarify, this guy does have a history with other things. But students were paddled as a part of the event. Teenage boys dressed in women's lingerie on school grounds. Let's highlight lingerie right there. And danced on near school leaders. Now it's every day that you get
it's
worked
important. I think to mention, not only is he the current mayor, he was the mayor when this happened, as well as the principal at the same time.
Yeah, which is odd to hold multiple. I not entirely. It's a part-time job, but it is weird to have that much power doing things like that. I'm pretty sure James Franco had a series of things that were like, hey, your abuse of power. Uh, bit odd. Pictures of what happened were posted on the Hazard High School Athletics Facebook page, which have been since deleted. And Harold Lear, through an open records act request, said that 3 staff members were exhibited as poor professional judgment that allowed a student to lead skit to reach, student led skit to reach an inappropriate level. Which generally it's hard to me that it's poor professional judgment. That seems like you wanted the children's. I mean, how often is it that you accidentally get your group of? I mean, like take it for example, your group of buddies. It's not every day that you and your buddies hop in lingerie and go twerk on the nearest guy in the neighborhood, right? I
Well,
mean,
I mean, this is the way that I see it, right? I even if I believe they were not aware of the event before it occurred, but even if that was right, you should have the initiative to be like, "Yo, we cannot do this."
here, let's look
You
at the
know,
pictures. Here is one of the paddlings. Also, what leads to
this is the damning ones.
Yeah,
This is
was
the damning part
look
right
here.
here.
It's at the paddling in general. There's the mayor in the background. How often do you get paddled in your school? Uh,
I get
Make
fake
it
the guy
down below, right? Uh, here's another picture. Lingerie. This is a male student with a wig and fake breasts, and this is, I guess, the lingerie-esque. It's more just like a bikini. Here's wigs. There's one. I believe this is who is this one right here?
I have no
Who
clue.
is that guy here? This is either Hurt or Thacker. But there's the mayor clapping. And there's also people in the background watching. Here is several female students rocking up in Hooters attire. Hooters is a well-known establishment for their women that serve you food in clothing that's very tight. It's a sexual thing. It's to drive in men for money. And you
Yeah,
have teenage girls dressed up, and maybe not the same attire exactly, but there is still symbolism. All of them. These are all next photo person. This is really kind of, I think it's the biggest stretch right here. This is just a girl. Maybe it's inappropriate for school, but it is kind of weird to take a picture of a random girl in the crowd. Uh,
real.
Here is another man wearing actual lingerie twerking on the principal and current mayor, which is that is something. I mean, I last
Yeah,
time,
this
yeah,
was headlines in what 2021, right? National headlines.
this was 2021 November 8th.
And this is my thing about all of this is that locally a lot of people seem to be like whatever, and I think that's the incorrect response. I think that truth be told, right, this is inappropriate. And if you look at the history of his educational misconduct, and he has been warned by the state multiple times.
Which we
And
could bring up on those too
yeah,
after you look at these pictures. A lot, that's
yeah.
what I was saying earlier with the
There's a series of misjudgments that have been mismade. And at what point do we say when is too many
hey, third time's
misjudgments
the
a
charm,
couple too
right?
many?
Third, fourth, 10th, whatever. Here's another male student with a bikini on. They are at least wearing something to cover the most of their ass, but
Yeah, and did a tail dress.
he's still twerking.
It's highly inappropriate.
It's highly.
I mean, the governor said that. The governor said
Governor-
that it was. Yeah, I can't remember exactly his exact wording, but he was not
Correct.
impressed.
In on a population of 5,000 to get the governorate on it, that's a lot. It's not every day the governor talks on small town things. This is not really. Um, okay, and what is going on? I don't know. Like, did you notice that before? I just took a glance.
I just looked at this photo and I didn't understand what they were trying to show me.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure. I mean, this is just a basic. I mean, of course, maybe they could use. I mean, generally,
I guess
I
this
think
was
your
because
keys.
it was previously posted on the same post. I think that's why it's here.
Probably, yeah.
And they deleted
That is one guy. That's a hell of a pop belly right there, though. Jesus. Here is. I'm assuming these are teachers. They look like at least men. Or this one probably not, but this one looks like a teacher. I assume this supposed to be dressed up.
I'm not sure.
I'm assuming this is a teacher. This is a regular person. Or maybe they're both teachers, maybe janitor, something like that. And I'm assuming they're dressed up to resemble maybe thugs, something like that. Just
I don't know what they're.
or
I don't know
maybe
exactly
it's
what
like
they're like.
there was actually the trend on TikTok a while back where the teachers would dress up like students. However, I just don't know what student is wearing either of this. Uh,
Dude,
it's not every day you pull up looking like you're about to slap somebody.
like you're a pimp or something.
Okay, here we go. Here's another picture of another person. I'm assuming this is one of the three aforementioned paddling. And I have to think in general. The same guy is in the original picture paddling as well. Um, it's very weird. Paddling has a long, convoluted history, especially in schools and in the bedroom. And to do it on a minor as a full-grown adult
Well,
man, it's
and
very.
in the manner, in the setting that they're doing it in as well. I mean, it's obvious
Well,
what
it's
it's meant,
humiliation.
and yeah, and I don't know. It just shocks me that people, especially in this area, were not more like, what the hell, and
Like, what's going on here?
because I think honestly, because I don't care who you are, I'll hold you accountable for what you do. And I think that it goes a lot of ways, and there's a limit. I'm not going to be like, oh, wow, you stole a nickel from me, so I'm angry at you. But I mean, when you do things that are at some point, there is no excuse. There is nothing that you can say because it's happened once, twice, three times, maybe four, and it's like, maybe they're not the exact same thing, but when you get reprimanded by different boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, oops, I did something weird with kids again. Silly me, right? And yeah,
Well, I think we should clarify. I don't think he's ever
he's never
been.
no, not like a
Yeah.
not in like a pedophilic act, but he has been around kids as a principal and has had positions of power where he has failed to do things. Here's
Yeah,
other failed
yes,
to be responsible with kids in his presence. I think if
yes.
you're a full grown adult who's in a political position as well as being a principal, maybe you should not do weird stuff with not in like a sexual sense, but I mean drinking with the kids, I believe, right? Or letting them
Well,
drink rather.
yeah, letting them drink and his. Well, I didn't know. I mean, that's it. It's pretty much it.
High
Now, this
school.
one is another one that's interesting.
He's the principal and superintendent. So he's got a lot of jobs. I guess he must be a busy man.
I don't know if he's still the school superintendent because this, of course,
This
is
is
November 2nd, 2021. So you have to think about this event, right? Occurred
and he's still
around the exact same time as the whole homecoming,
Mhm.
the
Yeah, this
homecoming
is
stripper.
actually only eight. This is only 6 days before, I believe. Or this article was, but yeah, Hazard Mayor and high school principal and Superintendent Mobelini renewed his teaching license in 2020, but did not tell teaching officials or state officials rather that he was involved in a lawsuit, which is a big no-no. You're supposed to, inform people that you're doing things. And the lawsuit was because a student was sexually assaulted. And I think you know more about this one than I did.
Yeah, so from what I understand, the claim is that she was raped and that she reported this. That the however, they were in. I don't. I think they weren't in Chicago. I believe they were in Baltimore. There was a trip to Baltimore.
Chaperone, yeah, chaperone school
Yeah,
trip.
and so they essentially got a hold of alcohol, and in the course of drinking and being in the hotel, she claims that she was sexually assaulted and raped, or just raped. I watched. I've seen both of those be said, so I don't know exactly which one it was, but uh, I'm assuming it's going to be rape because that's the most recent one that I saw, and that school officials did nothing about it. That they failed to act properly,
Mm.
and this is not the first incident that he is involved about alcohol and not knowing, and like this whole, you know, uh, convoluted thing about it. It's about, oh my goodness, I don't know if I knew and I didn't know, and I'm sorry. It's always about I'm sorry. You know,
Yeah, oopsies.
I mean, how many times
This is
do you
the
not?
Kentucky.com. I'll bring up the article that references the drinking, but I mean, it's very hard for me to not. I mean, really, generally, if you're not taking her side, a lot of time, I'm sure there's instances where it can be speculated. Of course, that's what the point of the law is to speculate.
Well, I wonder what came out of this. Like, I wonder.
We have no idea. We'd have to dig more into this, but still, it says an ongoing lawsuit 2020. Maybe we can work on the reference link and see where it takes us. This is the same thing. But generally, it's just weird. I mean, a student was at least sexually assaulted according to WYMT, and improperly chaperoned. And he's got a history with alcohol and students. I mean, there's the Man Pageant article We'll scroll down on this. A prior 2011 agreed order with the education took 12 hours of training liability for school. So he's already been trained in the past on liability, legal liability for school districts, and dangers of alcohol use by teenagers, and just things with children in general or teenagers. And 12 hours of training is not a lot, but he's still received recommendations as of 2011. And
Yeah,
then
and
the
there was
repeated
also one in
incident
2007, I believe.
so, I mean, again, the Herald says the man pageant at the Hazard High School. This is 2008. Man pageant featured male students simulating lap dances and female students in Hooters t-shirts. Is
No,
this an,
I think this is from the 2021.
Oh, it's
That's
currently
correct.
investigating. Currently investigating. So that's insane that he's done it twice. No, that's currently investigating. The 2011 EPSB order said that Mobelini take the utmost precautions that minors under supervision not have access to alcohol. In 2008, Attorney General's office reported EPSB that Mobelini drove hazard students to a rock concert in Cincinnati and drank alcohol on the trip.
Oh, I know about this one actually. This one, it was his daughter, that and her friends, from my understanding, and she said, from what I understand, she said she was sorry and that she was just being, she was being a irresponsible teenager and stuff, and I can understand that, from someone who was a bad teenager. I think at least a generally bad teenager who did sneaky stuff. I think I can generally agree that I did things under my parents' noses, but um, I don't know. There's just a lot of I don't know. The thing about alcohol with this, with this guy, because in 2008 there's another incident,
Yeah.
that
Wait, this is the 2008 incident. Mobelini drove Hazard High School students to a rock concert in Cincinnati, and the students drank alcohol on a trip. And it has to come to my wondering. I mean, if you've ever been in a car with people in the back seat, or you've been in the back seat, you would know the driver has this little thing. It's a little mirror. They can see into the back seat and behind the car. um, and it's pretty hard to drink alcohol, I think, in the back of a car while someone's driving. I mean, at least
and not smell it.
yeah, and he never. I'm assuming he never smelt it. He never.
I think if you scroll down here a little bit, I see you go through it.
My dad was just trying to be nice to me and my friends, and we took full advantage of it. We lied to him. We were stupid and put on pictures on the internet. We made a mistake. It's going to ruin my dad. I mean, how do you lie to somebody in the same car as them? If that's yeah, and he was quoted in 2008 saying the kids sneak and drink. They screwed up. I'm sorry I didn't catch them. All I do is help my students not drop out and get a diploma. I don't try and harm them. But it seems like the daughter is like taking a lot of the blame for this. But you're in the same car as them drinking. I wish we knew what they were drinking. If it was a flask, a bottle, beer, that kind of thing. Because it really does. It does help. Because I mean, if they have even a beer bottle, I mean, that's a really um hard to sneak around a car.
Well, I think if it's a strong type of liquor, I think you'd smell it. I damn sure know I would.
Yeah, I mean, alcohol and I mean, like how? Well, I mean, really and truly, I mean, how do you sneak that in a car? I mean, how maybe get it in the car, but at no point did he know, or maybe he did know it towards the end. I mean, but who reported?
Well, I mean, I think even if we give him,
Benefit of the doubt.
in all of these cases, yes, the benefit of the doubt that he did not know, right? At what point do we say, is this guy unobservant? I mean,
He
and
answered
also,
no in the that's what the license thing. He answered no to the question about any alleged misconduct pending against him.
right. So this is retaining or pertaining to to the civil, and this is also the other thing. It's always the excuse can truly be that, well, I didn't know, or I misclicked, I misclick, and I think that that's the problem, right? Is at what point do we say we hold someone responsible for you can okay, I'll say it like this. If I forgot to pay my $10,000 in taxes, do you think the IRS is just going to let me go?
Oh, whoopsie daisies! No, you're going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, like if I lied, even on accident, if I lied on an official document, do you think the federal government is just going to let me go? Do you think the state government is just going to let that go? Unless I'm truly a dumbass. Unless I am truly a dumbass. They're I mean,
It's pretty hard to be a dumbass and be elected several times to mayor, and also be the principal and superintendent of a school, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, work in education for like what is it, almost 40 years.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to be that what you call it. Here it talks about the such a pending lawsuit. The which a girl in her junior year was originally raped by another student after they acquired and drank alcohol. And the lawsuit is apparently ongoing. This is from 2019. The lawsuit, which the lawsuit went on the thing, which they were improperly chaperoned, which is just that's very it's just odd. A lot of it just is very odd, and it's like you keep on getting the benefit of the doubt, but when you get to cut it off.
Mhm. I remember reading an article about him and the group on the football field
Football.
drinking alcohol. Yes.
Let's see.
I believe that was also in 2008.
Drinking alcohol. I can't
It,
spell.
it was like teens drinking alcohol that on the football field at the Hazard High School, I believe.
High school. I can't spell. Football. 2000. Another alcohol related flap. It's interesting.
Another? Oh.
Here it is. Yeah, Eastern under investigation at the state of him driving around students as they smoked and drank alcohol. Him driving them murders is from 2008. This might be the same thing they were talking about in this other article. But this.
Well, no, they weren't smoking. I mean, okay, you can't lie about that, man.
Yeah. I didn't smell them smoking cigarettes or talking the alcohol in the back of my car as I drove with a vodka and cans of beer. Shows Mobelini and his daughter. So this is the one that he was talking about in the form.
Wow.
Mobelini and his daughter. Let's see. Donald Happy. The police caught students drinking alcohol on school's football fields moments after he left them. I mean, if you're with the students the whole time, it's very hard for me to think. I mean, how did you miss the alcohol? And it's not like beer. It's I was with them the whole time, and then they made a wish to a genie, and the alcohol appeared. I mean, it's not every day that the alcohol is just there. And then the photos posted on the internet showed Mobelini's daughter and four of her friends with vodka, cans of beer, teens pouring alcohol into a Wendy's and Mountain Dew bottles. The group was mostly 16, 17-year-olds shown smoking cigarettes, which isn't legal, and they also weren't wearing their seatbelts. And they were later pictured at a riverbend thing, and it says, at this point in time, all I can really tell you is that we're looking at it, said Jim Mobley. Mobelini said he did not know the girls had alcohol and drinking, but he said that he didn't clarify smoking. He said he did not smell alcohol and couldn't hear the sounds of cans because the windows of the car were rolled down. He was also talking on his cell phone much of the way. So, I didn't smell.
So we're just not gonna mention the cigarettes?
Yeah. So I mean, hell, that implies that he knew they were smoking at the very least.
Well, I mean, you can't be charged for perjury if you didn't lie.
Yeah, I didn't know they were. I mean, I didn't know they were drinking alcohol or pouring. I didn't know they were pouring alcohol into Mountain Dew cups and Wendy's cups, vodka, and they were also smoking. I mean, I know it's like to be going on a road trip with the windows down. It's loud. It's not that loud.
Right. I think you'd be able to hear that pop, man.
Or at the very least, the smell of the cigarette. Yeah. Cigarettes have a strong odor.
Man, if you don't smell or know that somebody is smoking a cigarette in your car, I mean, you might have some smelling loss or something. I mean, seriously.
We were stupid to put the pictures on there. Does anyone have? I wonder if they had the pictures.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
He said he was with the students for about 30 minutes before the police arrived and found half a dozen bottles of hard liquor and several cases of beer. What is this from? After arrested 12 students, all under age 21. Okay, so this is the football field. So there was half a dozen bottles of hard liquor and several cases of beer, and he didn't see it. Is he missing both eyes?
This is what I mean when I say that one too many times of alcohol related incidents, and this is what I want to say about him, is that I don't think that he's a bad guy. I don't think that he's like a monster or something. But also I think that we should clarify that he does things for the community, right? I mean, everything that I've heard, I mean, I know that he's gone out and he's done stuff. I've talked to the guy, but also I think that it's important for people to say, hey, what the hell? right? Because some people may not have known. And if you did know, right, you should be asking yourself, what should we do, right? Should we really be trusting uh our future, right, in a guy that has made questionable decisions? I mean, questionable decisions.
I mean,
That's
there's this thing I like to say. I referenced this guy who's a powerful German leader. I think I mentioned him like twice now in this one podcast. But I think it's a good comparison. I mean, look, the path to the path to good often is paved with evil. You know what I mean? And I mean Hitler was a good guy in some aspects. I mean he was a vegan. He loved dogs. He banned animal cruelty, banned smoking in certain areas. I mean things like that. He did a lot of good things. And then he did a lot of bad things. He did all the horrible things that he did. So I mean, hell, he can be good for the community, but that doesn't mean that he's not got a lot of bad aspects. I mean, especially
right.
with these minors. That's the main thing.
And this is what I really want to, put into the minds of people when they go to vote in any election, right? Because I think all of them are very important. It's important to understand that when we go to vote, we're not looking for who is just like us. We're looking for who best represents us, closest to us, right? We want someone who knows the future that we know, right? Who sees the visions that we see. It's not always about he has to say it verbatim. Sometimes it's about he gets where I want to be, you know? And I think that's what we should be asking ourselves. Are the achievements of these last 4 years, now because the election's coming up in 2026, right? Are the achievements of the city government, right? Are they enough? Because I mean, they have the banners, and I have pictures of the banners, and I do think that a lot of them are mediocre, right? They're not real achievements. They're like we did a celebration, right? That is great. That's good to have community, but we need plans, right? We need actual service to the community. We need Southeast Kentuckians making legislation that is going to fix the problems that only Southeast Kentuckians know how to fix, right? Because we live it. And of course, we can't pay for it ourselves, but it's us who advocate for ourselves, right? I I was told this by Miss Renalta, I believe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was Miss Renalta. All of these people are very equally important. Maybe it was someone else, but they always told me that the best advocate for me is going to be myself, right? And whoever said that, thank you, because it's always stuck with me, right? And it makes me understand, really, that it has to be me, right? Who
Yeah.
who says I want this for me because I know what I want for myself, right? I'm capable to make those decisions. Like Ronald Reagan said, right? Who are far off distant elites to make decisions for our own lives better than we can.
I think
Yes.
it's good. Yeah. And but yeah, I mean, like this guy generally he's a character, and I think I don't know what I think. I think he's interesting. I mean, my same thought comes to my head. It's like just how often do these things, or how many more times are they going to happen? How many things do we not know about? I mean,
Well, I mean, I want to know, like,
presented things. I mean, how many times has he covered up something? How many times has he done something that we no one knows?
well, I think also is what's equally as important is to say what hasn't he done. And I can tell you one thing that I know he hasn't done, other than work with the city of Buckhorn, is reach out to any of the other Southeast Kentuckian communities. He says that these are my people and I want to focus on my people. And yes, I agree, but Southeast Kentucky has to unite under the idea that we have to fix each other's issues by being each other's friend, right? We are each other's allies, right? Southeast Kentucky has the general set of goals that they would like to achieve. They want better roads, they want better economies, they want help to counter drug addiction, right? To counter alcoholism, to actually give their children a future, right? And for someone to call himself privately an advocate, right? And I don't know, maybe publicly. I'm not sure all the things this guy said, but and then to and then to not say that you don't think that it should be really a concern. I mean, it's appalling to me, right? Because there's not many people here. There's not many people in the county over,
Yeah.
but two counties is a lot more people than just a single one, and that's what I'm saying, right? Southeast Kentucky has to have a plan for itself, right? And the leaders have to reflect that, right? We have to
Same.
have people who care.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, there's a reason that I mean, that's why countries work together. Small countries work together, and people work together. And I mean, if you can all work together, you can make things better for each other. I mean, it's not like you're a one, and you're not. It's like you're an island out there in the middle of Kentucky. You know, what I mean, you got
All right.
these things all surrounding you. You guys can work together. I mean, hell, in Florida, they, I mean, task force work together. Police task force will work together. They'll send over people from different counties to help, and that same idea can be extended onto everything else. Um,
Right. Well,
yeah,
it's the same thing that I've because we've been talking a little bit about the whole Roblox thing. Sorry. The whole Roblox thing, right? And I mentioned that at one of the meetings, and I said that you know the the Inviticus program, right, where I'm from, it's a nonprofit, but they work with federal, state, and local law enforcement. And there's 4 counties in North Carolina where I'm from that does this, and they catch online predators. And I said, what does it take for us to pay some county officials, right, to go out and actually learn this stuff? Because all the county elections and stuff are coming up, and I think this is stuff we should be asking ourselves because protecting children, the dynamic is changing. The way that they're playing the game is changing, right? The way that they're trying to manipulate children and kind of grab them into this what is it, grooming, right?
yeah.
It's changing and developing, and it's going to be different and way different in 5 years than we ever could expect, right? Especially with all the AI and stuff going on. And so we have to, be proactive in actually solving these issues. And I believe only 4 counties in North Carolina work with the Leviticus program. But I mean, that's something that we need, right?
Yeah.
That we need everywhere. I mean, because this is exactly what we're trying to combat. This is one of the biggest issues, right? If you look at the number of CSAM, right, child abuse material online, but like in 2003 when they started recording it, all the way up until like 2022 or 2023, the number of images known to be online or to be found online, it was it was a crazy increase. I was like,
Yeah.
and I mean, you can only imagine why. So
Well, and for any other thing is in the school of medicine, is it Louisville or was it Louisville?
Louisville,
Louisville.
Louisville.
Okay, well, their website, their education, was edu. They state that Kentucky has the highest child abuse rate in the entire United States. The highest
Yeah,
child
and
abuse rate.
I'm pretty sure Kentucky has the highest domestic violence rate in the United
Most
States as
likely
well.
too. I mean, it says nationally, 78% of child abuse perpetrators were parents, and I mean, and the thing is, this one Kelly L. Doc says that it's 100% preventable. In 2017, 22,000 child abuse victims, equating to 22 every 1,000 children in Kentucky, which is more than double the national average, which is insane. Like, double the national average for
Well,
one state.
talking about children, right, and domestic violence, something that's been going on is the Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services recently sent out letters, and there's a story on it. You might want to pull it up. Look up Community-Based Service, CBS, Kentucky CBS. It's an article about they pretty much sent out information. They leaked information to biological parents and possibly victims of domestic violence. And name changes, address changes.
Child
Yeah,
identities. Okay,
yes,
yes, this is from WKRC.
yeah.
Let me see. I'll copy this. Oh yeah, system and glitch here. Let's open up this. A local adoptive children's identity is exposed to biological parents due to system glitch. A local
Mhm.
12 investigation found the identities of thousands of adopted children have been exposed to their biological parents, which is insane. Because
Mhm.
most
And
people that
it gets
adopt is
worse
just,
too. It gets worse.
yeah. It's putting their adopted families at risk by allowing biological. They've lost the criminal justice system. That means that people that have abused their children, starved them, beat them, can now
And they don't.
find the same children.
They don't also. The article that I read said that they weren't really too interested in like letting them know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, your stains are not exposed. What do you do? We asked the adoptive mother. There's no shoving us back into a box. It's out there now. They do the repercussions of it. Let's see. Uh, it's a lot of articles. To call DCBS, finally have a shit here back, and then it's called the state's ombudsmans. I don't know what that
Um,
is.
ombudsman's.
Ombudsman. Okay. They
Yeah,
took her.
it's like a. I think it's an investigatorial origin. department. You might exactly want to look it up. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I think they investigate.
Thousands of other families that have been exposed by the glitch in the system. Local 12 spoke to the office as well. They confirmed identities of 2,465 people were exposed, but IT had taken 6 to fix the problem. And this is a picture of the article, I believe, right here. Um, as far as I mean, it's insane that one little loophole can. I mean, those are people that have been beating their kids, either overdose, that kind of thing, and they've been taken out of these abusive households, and now they're at risk to be. I mean,
The article that I had read, the state ombudsman's office was talking particularly about, um, they were asked if domestic violence victims could have had their information leaked, and they said, well, yeah, maybe it's a great possibility. And they were like, what steps have you been taking to notify them? And they're like, I don't know. We're not really sure yet. So they are basically trying to say we don't want to take accountability for the fuck up that we had, and we're not sorry, right? So I mean, there's thousands of children who are being exposed, right, to possibly dangerous situations. Particularly the article that the woman that you should, I believe it was a white woman with an African American boy, wasn't it?
no, I think it's her husband that's African American.
Okay, I can't remember. Okay, I remember like.
The husband is African American with I believe maybe 4 adopted children. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I remember I had seen the article, but this is the family. So the biological parents of the children started showing up to the school of these kids, and basically being like, "Hey, can I get my kid?" Like all like this freaky shit. And that's like what we're talking about. That's the kind of danger, and like this danger is real. And in Kentucky, they don't give a fuck. To be honest with you, all these stories you hear about baby rotted in meth trailer in the crib, yeah, it happened in here in Kentucky. There are people who just like just live life, dude. I don't know. They like
Yeah.
they it's weird.
It's
Every
it's a board. It's a board. It's just insane. And I mean a lot, especially a lot of these rural or more southern states like that, they don't care. Kentucky's definitely a big one. But I mean Alabama. I know maybe Georgia's a little bit better about it, but even in the rural parts of Georgia, a lot of these more southern states, and not to exclude northern states as well, but a lot of southern states just do not care. And it goes hand in hand with a lot of things I think is insane. I mean, a lot of our Republican politicians often talk about protecting the children. I mean, that's with the a lot of the regulation where you have to scan your face to get on certain websites, which is inherently an absurd thing to scan your face as you're an full
Well, it
adult.
all comes from the Patriot Act. This is all because of 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11
Right.
Patriot.
So I mean, this literally links back into what we were talking about earlier. It's there. I don't know. They're just really keen on watching everybody knowing exactly who you are.
And
And if you don't think that the government can, they could, and they definitely did.
And they probably have in the past. I mean, in the past, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, when all these big pushes, oh, we're trying to help the children. We don't want the children to be on these apps. I should not have to scan my face to be put on YouTube. You know what I mean? If and this roots back to the parents. It should not be inherently the government's responsibility to take care of the children. Now, and I don't mean when it comes to saving kids or CPS, that kind of. I mean in the aspect of parenting. A child shouldn't, or a website rather, should not have to take it into their hands. Which it's not really so much of them taking it in. It's the website has to scan your face and prove that you are an adult or a child, so you can go on the website. Nobody should do that. A parent, if you care about your kids, you should be setting up monitored accounts, restricted mode accounts. Like for example, YouTube, you could set up a child account, a restricted mode account, or hell, put them on YouTube Kids. You should not have to scan your because all of this is supposed to tell your just put them on a tab, let them in the yard, something like that. But I mean, all this is to get facial recognition. I mean, how Palantir, for example, Trump's big ugly friend, along with Peter Thiel and other big popular figures that are pushing Palantir, it uses AI and it can mark people as potential threats. Does this not sound like China? Does this not sound like Germany? Does it not sound like these other countries that are very surveilled because they live in fear? The United
Right.
States
And
should not have that.
I think that it's really important for Americans to, see that everyone kind of lives a really interconnected
Talk
life.
to your local representative, your
Yeah,
your
talk to your leaders.
yeah, your neighbors. I mean, hell, if your representative, and I think this is another thing, representatives don't pick up calls. These people that represent you don't give a damn about what you think unless you write them, and they'll probably have their assistant write back to you as them.
Hmm.
Hell, yeah, I mean, look, you're a number. And I think another thing that a lot of people, especially a lot of people think is that the government cares about you. And a lot of times the government doesn't. Now, that's not to say that all representatives don't care about their people. That's far-fetched entirely. But in general, the representatives, they see you as a number to win, and they get a lot of money. I mean, for example, Hal Rogers, he's received money from Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and several other
Military industrial complex.
military industrial comeback, or they'll receive money from AIPAC. All you are is a number. They get money from industries that want your help, or their help rather, and he then sees you as a number. He gets his team to work on it, and they send things, and they want you to vote for them. All you are to the people is a number, and in return, they provide you with a lackluster service. Now to correct that, you got to get politicians that care. I mean, hell, Massey, maybe he's not a perfect man, but at least he's not taking AIPAC donations and donations from all these different companies that just want to buy him out at the very least, right? I mean,
And this is also what was really funny about how Rogers and him taking all this money is he is the longest sitting member in the House. So you can only imagine all the money that he slowly collected
too, isn't he?
for votes from all these lobbyist groups over the years.
Oh, tons of money, tons of money. I think he's also a committee chair, is he not?
Yeah, I think he's on the, I don't know, the Ways and the Means Committee. I don't know.
Something like that. He's on an old person committee. Um, but like I said, I mean, like they see you as a vote, and and if you want something real, you gotta stop voting entirely with them. I mean, like hell, I mean, a lot of people they vote lifelong Republican, lifelong Democrat, lifelong this, lifelong that, and at a certain point, you have to kind of look at the politics around you and think, well, maybe it's not just a red versus blue thing, right? It never really has been. It's been so much as who cares about you and who doesn't, right? I mean, they're getting a lot of money from interests, and those interests don't care about you. I mean, Palantir doesn't care about you. They want your face in a database so they can report you to the police whenever you say something bad. That's all it is.
Yeah, and guys, I want to really emphasize China's social policy, their social credit score. This is what America's going into. And I say that because, you know, what he's talking about, it's not red versus blue. It's not left versus right because we're all Americans. And at the end of the day, if you are a struggling working class American, right, you have a goal in life. And that goal is to probably live a financially stable life where you don't have to work 40 hours a week, right? Where you don't have to be a slave to the slave master. And I think a lot of people see that dream, but there are a small group of people who are entirely dependent upon your slave labor, as they would
They
see it.
need you
Right?
to be
Because
poor for the rest of your life.
Right, because as long as you don't have money to challenge them, you'll just forever be the cog in the machine. I
Yeah.
think that's the things that we have to challenge. I mean, look at the creation of the Federal Reserve. If you see who did it, J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, and the Rothschilds representatives all met right in 1910 on a island owned by J.P. Morgan. They created it was called the Aldrich's Plan. In 1912, the Congress was like, "Is this a scheme to steal money from the government?" They're like, probably. And then in 1913, I think the day after Christmas, or 1913, I mean, 1913, the day after Christmas, I said, hey, great idea. Let's go without like 26 senators and then go take a vote. And they passed the Aldrich Plan, which was changed to the Federal Reserve Act. And bada bang, bada boom, we have a bunch of bankers who control the industry.
And another thing is, kind of like when I talk about when we say left versus right, red versus blue, you have to you got to kind of look at this, right? I know a lot of people in both of our states, and not just our cities, but our states entirely. Fox News is a major thing. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people love Tucker Carlson. Even Tucker Carlson said that all Fox News is to manipulate old people. And you have to kind of look at the media that you're listening to. I mean, CNN and Fox News and several other companies. All they all.
I mean, even Tucker Carlson's a dummy.
Even his dad was a CIA agent. I mean, let's get real here.
I mean, he's talking about like Nick Fuentes, and Nick Fuentes is truly crazy, but he's talking about Nick Fuentes, like Nick Fuentes is a nobody, and I'm like Tucker Carlson, you're talking about like the exact same that Nick Fuentes said, like you're talking about things at like you're lonely and you live in a basement and you know your life sucks, and it's like yeah, that's probably a lot of people's life in reality, and it was like that's like one of the I think the only relatable things this guy has ever said,
Exactly.
and it's memeable, it's great.
And
But
yeah,
it really shows the disconnect.
there's a huge disconnect between the people that speak down to you, because you have to remember a lot of these news stations. These are all rich people. All of them are rich. I mean, Hannity, Tucker Carlson, all these people. They live in these houses in New York that none of us could ever even think of affording, let alone going to. And you see all these people, and it's political divisiveness. That's all it is. To make you vote for somebody they want. Because no matter who it is, whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whether it's a state senator, it's a state representative, it's somebody like that. Unless you really know what you're voting for, and you're just or if you're just following blindly on TV, all it is they're pushing a candidate that'll get what they want done, what the big plan is, and the big plan might not be. Yeah, it could be anything, right? It may not be some conspiracy theories, or it could just be, hey, we want everybody to get a little more poor, we'll get a little richer, right? And that's all it is.
Well, I think I mean, I think we can kind of hear it in the things that they say, but also in the actions that they do, because
Yeah,
actions
your
speak very
actions.
loud. You see what China and Russia and other countries are doing internationally. And I think it was Wagner that just pulled out of like Libya or wherever the hell they're at. No, Mali. And because they accomplished their mission or whatever. Basically Mali didn't give them all their gold, so they left. And I mean, that's pretty much what that was. But that's what they're doing, right? China has bought companies in New Zealand. Actually, China owns
And
the
nice.
Austria Dwarf Hotel.
And they own land in the
Chinese
United States
investor.
too.
Yeah. Oh, they own farmland. They a lot of countries own land oddly close to military infrastructure. Um, and also like if we really want to get down into the deep and the dirty of it, right? China doesn't. I mean, most other countries who are diametrically opposed to the United States do not allow U.S. citizens to really get into things. Sometimes they do, and I mean, but like the Chinese government, they are going to watch you. I mean, they watch every other Chinese fucking business.
Business.
They have what they call the golden seat, right?
Yeah.
On their committees, and so it's like in the United States, we pretend as if this doesn't exist, as if there is no control from the government on these corporations, but it's the opposite. The corporations that are controlling the government in the United States, right?
And
And
a lot of this sounds very conspiracy-esque. It sounds like we're spitting a lot of nonsense, and I think that's if you watch a lot of TV, you'll probably get that feeling. But I mean, you can go on Google for all you want, and you can look at here. I'll recommend a website, Open Secrets. It lets you see who's
show them
funds.
the website. Show them
Yeah,
the
I'll
website.
show you the website. This is a website that you can actually use to look at different people. Let's take, for example, KIV, who's my governor of Alabama. It shows you who's sponsoring Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, things like that. Let's go to Hal Rogers. Like we brought him up twice now. Hal Rogers is a representative in Kentucky.
It's
Uh,
fifth district.
5th District of Kentucky. Let's look at his campaign finance summary. This shows who he's been funded by. And let's look in here. American Crystal Sugar, the biggest, I believe the biggest sugar company in the entire United States. Cornerstone, AIPAC. This is AIPAC right here. And this is from 2024. Let's go back to 2022. Who funds Hal Rogers, Boeing Co., General Dynamics. These are both military industrial companies. American Maritime Officers, that's not as big. American Crystal Sugar again. You go even farther back. You go 2020. And of course, it's important. Of course, there's a lot of politicians who see PAC money. Don't get me wrong, a lot of politicians, and there's a lot of good politicians that may do it. But you have to, at a certain point, stop thinking, oh, they're still a good politician, even though they receive money from companies that have killed thousands of people. No, they're not that bad, right? American Crystal Sugar again. And we go back.
It was in good faith.
It was in good faith. I mean, his dad pulled a gun after he broke into his house over in the Middle East.
That's,
You know,
that's literally how it is.
at Lockheed Martin, for example. I mean, Boeing Co.
Especially when it comes to these private military organizations like Blackwater. I mean, they're just out there committing war
Horrible,
crimes.
horrible, horrible. But this is open secrets, and if you like I said, if you don't believe exactly what we're saying, you can look into it yourself. And Open Secrets is a trusted website. They use references. And to clarify what a PAC is a company giving, and yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
A
But some people,
political action committee. It doesn't have to be so. They give to political action committees. So a political action committee is basically a group of people that say, hey, this is like where we want to put money, and it's all public and stuff, and they give money to whoever, right? To whoever they want to fund. There's like a lot of things to it. I don't really know the deeps and the downs into it, but there's super PACs and there's PACs.
Yeah.
But these are how politicians receive funding from individuals,
And
but particularly
lobbyists.
private corporations and lobbyists.
Yes, and these are companies, and you think, I mean, Boeing, and then you look at all the deals that our government gives. I mean, Lockheed Martin is one of the biggest government people. We pay them a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. If you're invested in Boeing or Lockheed Martin early on, you're very rich now because we give them so much money. Because they make all of our our military equipment, all of our booms, so we can go into other countries and mess up everything for them, right? Uh, I mean, how like there's so many instances where the United States has done a lot of things, and they were backed by the same individuals, perhaps maybe not the exact same, but they've all been backed by big companies that want their interests preserved, so they go through the American government. I mean, look at Cuba, for example. Batista, I believe it's or Batiste, something like that. He was the former instilled, was it the president or rather dictator of Cuba. We put him in after a coup, and he was a ruthless dictator, actually worse than Fidel Castro at certain points. He's considered worse than Fidel Castro, at least from what I've read. And a horrible person, killed many people, things like that, and we put him in there to protect banana companies, to protect interests of our companies, and that's what you have to realize. Our nation is not afraid to kill in the name of money, and that means you too. The bonus army, for example, after World War One. Whenever our troopers were promised their bonuses, but it would only hit 1945 at the year of 1945 for World War One. That's 20 years that they were going to have to wait for their bonuses. So they went to the Capitol and they protest. And you can look this up. It's the bonus army. They went to the Capitol protest, and you know what happened? Our military killed people, and even a baby died. They killed people for wanting the money that they were promised by the United States government for fighting the war overseas in World War One. Is that so? Whenever they're not afraid to do whatever it takes to preserve the interest, to preserve the moolah. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's always been about the money.
It's always been about the money. The money is king, and our politicians are just pawns for it, really and truly.
Well, I think when we talk about earlier, when we talk about the Aldrich Plan and the Federal Reserve, I think in the late into the mid, but particularly right, 1880s is when we truly took off and we became the powerhouse, right? Because we utilized the Mississippi River, which is the largest transversible river in the world, meaning you can send a ship down it and up it, and it's okay. And also, it only has one natural waterfall at the very end. So all the agricultural stuff and iron that we're producing gets shipped directly very close to the Mississippi, and it goes straight into the Gulf. And that was what made us an economic powerhouse. And it's around that time where they discovered oil, and they started to gain a lot of money. And that's when we started seeing these monopolies pop up, right, with Rockefeller. And then it was broken into Standard Oil. But they still are rich, and they still have wealth.
Still
They
exists
hold money.
today. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
Exxon is a rich
Every
corp.
single gas company in the United States comes from Standard Oil. Every single major gas corporation in the United States comes from Standard Oil. And when John D. Rockefeller, he got 30% of each of the 7 companies it was turned into originally. So you can only imagine how much money he's made off his pharmaceutical industry, right? Because that's why he stopped teaching all natural medicines in school, and he started he started going into I think it's the oil.
Theodore Roosevelt actually is one of the reasons that was broken up. I think I know a big thing about Theodore Roosevelt is he was a very important figure, and he was not this conservative deity that he's made out to be a lot in media. I've seen a lot of times. So yeah, he's the one.
He was very progressive.
He
For
was-
the time.
I mean,
He's
that-
actually
that
the
is-
reason why we have national parks.
That's the reason that he was the president, even because the whole reason that he was vice president before he became president when he took over was because he was made vice president by the New York Republicans that were far more conservative, and they wanted him out of the state because he was too progressive. So they made him vice president, put him in a useless job, and I believe the president died and he took over. Correct?
Yeah, William McKinley was assassinated.
Yes. And so he took over
And
the job. And
and
he's a
actually,
trust buster. He was a monopoly buster. He went after Rockefellers, all kinds of things. And he was very
who did he run against in 1912? It was against I'm trying to remember his name. He's the only president to have a political science degree. What's his name? Woodrow Wilson. Yes, he's the only president
That's
of
a
a
political science degree. That was he
Yeah.
is a horrible racist among our things.
He said that the Birth of a Nation film was historically accurate. So that's all you need to know about this guy. But he in 1912 when he was running for president, he actually comes. I forgot what state it was. I don't know if it was New Hampshire or Rhode Island or Connecticut, something like this. And he was the governor of that state. And he at that time, Roosevelt was making a speech, and he got shot in the chest. Right, this is the famous one where he finished that speech.
Yes, yeah.
And if you actually know what he said in that speech, you'll see why he said it was so important to finish it. He talks about how as governor of this state that I think it was like over 75% of the trusts were made in his state, and they had all these provisions, and that basically as state governor he had the ability to destroy these trusts, but he didn't, right? And he didn't do that. He didn't want to, and so that's why he did that speech. And I think that he's very incredible because as a young child he was deathly sick all the time. He had asthma. I mean, he was a small child, and he grew into this like incredibly rough man who had 3 people tied and rode horseback like all night, rode 100 miles on horseback with 3 prisoners.
Roosevelt was a different breed of
Yeah.
a person entirely. Didn't he? What was the? I think he wanted to fight in World War I as well, didn't he, or something like that? He was.
He fought in the Spanish American War.
Yeah, but he also. I think he also. Whenever World War I, or did he die? I think he won. I think he was alive until with World War I. He wanted to fight in it, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah. He didn't die until I think a couple of years later.
yeah, he was only 60, so yeah, he wanted to get into all those conflicts, but he was so I think even as a Republican, you can have a lot of views that aren't you don't have to follow the razor edge. You don't have to sit on the and you don't have to sit
Well,
in the middle of the line.
I think that's exactly what George Washington warned about, right?
A
Is
two-party
that
system, yeah.
a two-party system. And honestly, I think that this is the way that politics should be viewed, is that humanitarian for my people, right, and strengthen my country. That is the ultimate goal, because humanitarianism in your people, doing good things for your people and bettering their lives by doing little things in the everyday, right? The roads that they drive on, the jobs that they get to go to work to, the things that they're paid, how much of the taxes are taken out, how much they get returned. If you take more taxes, are they getting more things in return? Are you actually spending their money wisely? Do you have to take more money to actually achieve your goal?
Exactly.
Right. I mean,
We have
it's these kind
states
of
that
little
are
things.
horribly poor. We have all these things, and while this is happening, our president talks about making the defense budget a cool $1 trillion so that it looks better.
Yes.
And that's insane. I mean, we want to have all these taxes so we can have a cool looking budget. I mean, that's absurd.
And I mean, I understand, like I said, strengthen your country, but if you don't have a populace who believes in your country and that it has the ability to, help its people, because there's less than 1 million homeless people, from my understanding. There was like 700 and something thousand homeless people in the United States. Does it really take the federal government that much to help a couple of them get off
I believe with the money that
help them
we
up?
are
I mean, goddamn.
adding to the budget to make it $1 trillion. I believe with the money we could actually, I believe it was simply cure homeless, or like, not cure, but rather solve homelessness with the amount of money
Well,
we
I
make.
mean, it doesn't have to be a large development.
No,
I mean,
no, not at all.
it's like even something small, right? Because we have to understand that not every single homeless person is an alcoholic or a drug addict or something. A lot of these
Not
people,
even
having
most.
stable housing, if they need therapeutic service, if they had the ability
Veterans.
to go to and fro, stuff like that.
I mean,
You
a
know,
lot, a lot of our, I mean, a lot of our, many veterans are homeless, that kind of thing. Not like you said, not all of them are drunks, and not all of them are alcohol. This kind of thing. A lot of our
right.
homeless are people that had bad luck. I mean, how foster children or things like that. People that were in
hmm
homes that aged out and now they don't know what to do because we didn't help them in the foster homes.
And then even people who do drugs and do drink alcohol,
Does that
because I
make
mean,
them
I
any
talk to
less of a
people on the
person?
street. And that's where I say, it's like I don't understand why people are just like so disinterested in helping needy people, and I see it a lot in Hazard sometimes because there's a lot of help that goes on. These are really nice people, but sometimes you encounter people who are really big into Christianity and religion. And you see, I grew up as a Catholic, so my understanding is that faith through works come through faith, right? But faith is not complete without works, right? And I I've always been taught that you give, right, and you don't question, right? If someone needs a shirt and you
Yeah.
have a shirt to give, you give it. You're not expected to give something that you don't have, but if you have something and you don't need it, and you
You
should
pay
give
for
it, right? And you shouldn't question it. And it's like these people. It's like, oh well, I don't want to do this because he could, go
He
get
can't,
a
well, hell, I
job.
get him
He's
$20.
hungry, isn't he? He's hungry right now.
Drugs, something like that. Well, you
Yeah.
$20, he might go and get himself a sandwich. He might go and get himself a plate of food,
Ask him if he
or some
wants
things like that.
food.
Yeah, ask him if he wants food. If you're so disinterested, and at the very least, I mean, give him the $20. I mean, like $20 to you could be the world to him. It could mean that his
Right.
dog doesn't die. It could mean that he could, maybe he doesn't die. I mean, homeless die in the street
Mhm.
and go unnoticed until they're picked up by the police, until they're picked up by the morgue. And
And
it's
it, it
it's
it's it yeah, well, it's really sad because there's not even an incredibly large amount, but it feels like they're everywhere, and
especially in Mobile City. I've gone down there quite a few
Mhm.
times, or towards the courthouse, that kind of thing like that, and they're all over the streets. And it's like, we are a huge city. What are we doing about this? I mean, these people. I mean, hell, say they're a drug addict, say they're an alcoholic. Does that mean that they're any less of a person? If you got addicted to drugs, if you
Mhm.
broke the law, does that mean that you are no longer a human? Should you be treated like a dog and kicked to the street and not pay attention to? Is that does what at what point do you stop being human enough to be classified as homeless? I guess is my thought, right?
Well,
Uh,
I think it's more like this, right? Because homeless people have the stereotype around them, right? And of course, it's always about drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. But I think that America doubles down on bad decisions, doubles down on bad solutions, and I think that that's what we have to stop to do. We have to stop thinking, oh, this doesn't work because my senator, or the government, the guy on the Fox News told me this, right?
yeah,
We
it
don't
don't work
need that. We
because
need
somebody with
data. We need
interests.
facts,
Yeah.
right? We need things that prove, right? I mean, if something works, and this is how I feel about politics, right? Irregardless of how I feel personally, right? If something is true, and something just happens to be true, I mean, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. And I'm not going to, for my personal benefit, lie or mislead or just ignore, right? Because it's stupid, right? I mean, like I said, humanitarianism for your people, regardless of how I feel, there are things that are just fundamentally true, and you can't get rid of that.
No, no.